Hey, a study was done where only 5% of the people are actually willing to do the work it takes to become successful in who they are called to be. The problem is that leaves 95% of people who make it their life mission to discourage others from succeeding. Why? Because if they can't do it, others shouldn't be able to do it either. So they discourage, they become distractions, they stand in the way, tell everybody why it's not possible. Okay, my personal calling, of course, is to help people find who they are in Christ. That's my passion. That's what I want to do. That's what I enjoy doing, drawing people into their destinies. In fact, Spirit of Life, our motto here is discovering destinies together. Steve and I are part of a business that it's a prime opportunity to bring people into success and to provide financially for their own personal callings and anointings. But in going through all this stuff, I've learned that just because I want to help people doesn't necessarily mean that they want to be helped. But we're supposed to help everybody, aren't we? As Christians, aren't we supposed to always be available? Aren't we supposed to always love? Aren't we supposed to always make ourselves, pour ourselves out for others? Even Jesus had his Judas, right? Well, yes. But we also have to know what God's plan is and what to keep them around, and what's the enemy's plan to drain us of our energy, right? We have to discern what the purpose is. If a person only has excuses, if they're always being discouraged, if they're always not willing to change, not willing to put in the effort, should you give yourself away for them? Should you give all your energy, all your time for that? Should you try and pull everything out of them when they're not willing to lose anything? You're just pulling your energy out of you and not having any results. So we can love them. And we should. We should love them, respect them, honor them, but not allow them to continually pull out of our time and out of our energy. We need to learn to focus on the 5%, the people that really want to change, the people who are willing to put in the effort, that are willing to do whatever it takes to become what God's called them to do. It is hard work. It's not something that everybody wants to do. I don't always want to do it, but what's more important? God told us in Genesis to be fruitful, multiply, and we should, to be fruitful, produce fruit, but you have to expend energy to produce fruit. Even the fruit of the Spirit, we have to learn to change our mindset. We have to learn to change our actions. We have to learn to renew ourselves and to believe that we can be a different person. It takes work. Multiply. Yeah, it means to reproduce. It means to give birth, whatever. But it also means to mentor. We're not supposed to be those who just does our work and then leaves without anybody to carry on that work. We're to mentor those, and then that takes effort. That's hard. It's hard to teach. It's much easier just to do it yourself. But we're supposed to multiply. We're supposed to mentor those and teach others that come behind us, and teach those to carry on the work. Yeah, it's hard. But in being good stewards, we need to learn who to give our time to, who to give our energy to. Being good stewards is not just about financial things. It's about all of our life. How to divvy up our life so that it's pleasing to God, so that we get our work done. Right? So a good steward should spend like 95% of his time paying attention to the 5% who are really willing to do the work. So go do what God's called you to do. Be prosperous. And be good stewards of your time, energy, and money. And don't let others steal that money and steal that time, steal that energy from you. Be who God's called you to be. And be blessed.